For Victims and Villains, my name is Josh, and today we are live at AtomaCon talking about the independent film Gracie. Gracie tells the story of a brother-sister duo where the sister has a desire to unalive as many people as possible, and the brother kind of dealing with the struggle of said deadly habits. So this is the directing debut of Eric A. Poe. He is also the co-writer on this, and in some ways you definitely feel some of those first film kind of reverberations kind of littered throughout. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. There are just certain things I think that this film could have excelled on way more than what we actually got. For one, the acting and the direction of this kind of seem like can be kind of hit or miss in some ways, but there's almost this charm to it that you sometimes find within independent films that I really appreciated with Gracie. It almost kind of has this schlocky type feel to it. And after sitting down with the director yesterday, kind of at the convention, talking about the film and kind of the desires of what hopes and dreams of the film, having this understanding that there are elements of this that are supposed to be satirical, I totally see that 100% here. And I think that Poe really excels at the satire of taking these character types that we really know from other major films that work really well at kind of almost satirizing them to a certain degree. Now, don't get me wrong, there are definitely some portions of line delivery here that definitely do fall flat. Same thing about the comedy. Some of the comedy that is in this movie fell flat for me. There are definitely points in this movie where you definitely feel like, oh, this is supposed to be a joke, or this is supposed to be a part where you're supposed to laugh, because it almost has this pause break within the narrative. And those jokes ultimately 9 times out of 10 just did not land for me. I also wish this movie had a little bit more time to breathe. This movie clocks in just a little under 85 minutes, and you definitely feel some of that, especially as we get kind of closer and closer to the climax. There are portions of this film and the characters that do kind of feel underdeveloped as a result of a shortened runtime. I definitely think this movie could have benefited from an additional 15 to 20 minutes of screen time and kind of fleshing out stories. This movie at any given point does deal with a lot of characters and a lot of moving parts. And so sometimes a lot of the developments, had it been a smaller cast, could have benefited. There are at any point really only 3 kind of solid main characters that I really wish the film would have honed in on just a little bit more predominantly, and maybe kind of pulled back with some of its secondary and tertiary characters. But fortunately, some of those characters just kind of seem to exist, and they exist for this satire reason, right? So they do serve a purpose, but to someone that may not understand or may just kind of catch this film on the fly, it may not register that way. With that said, pacing was certainly an issue here for me. I think this movie could have benefited from an additional 15 to 20 minutes. There are definitely some parts of this film that definitely feel rushed, some parts that definitely feel underdeveloped, some parts that I would have liked to see a lot more with. There's a lot about the Gracie character that still feels a little bit even shrouded in mystery despite having a twist around it. I would have liked to kind of see her engaged a little bit more, especially as a titular character, kind of moving into the space prior to our film's third act. I love the practical effects here, and it's probably one of the favorite things I love about covering independent films. Gracie definitely does deliver on those. I really kind of wish that there would have been a little bit more blood and a little bit more gore, but that's not necessarily a critique on the actual product. That is just a personal preference that I have when it comes to these types of films. With that said, I'm ready to run this one through our Rorschach rating scale. Live from AtomaCon, I'm going to go ahead and give Gracie a 3 out of 5. Overall, I thought this movie shows promise for the co-writer and director Eric A. Poe. I think this movie has a lot of great ideas that it plays with and doesn't always know how to execute those ideas as well. And as a result, things like pacing and character development really do kind of suffer. But this is a really good satire, and this is a film that does have a lot of fun with itself. Doesn't take itself too seriously, which is something that I really enjoy. But also, comedy is subjective, and there are definitely some comedic beats that didn't land for me. But overall, I had a lot of fun with this. And you guys can check out Gracie. currently circulating. Gracie is currently circulating around the independent film sphere, and you guys can check it out as well. But Eric is also one of the filmmakers behind the YouTube channel, Wages of Sin, Cine. We will provide a link in the show notes below, or you guys can wait till the end of the video and click right here to check them out and go support them. In the show notes below, you guys will find links to our mental health resource library, social media, more podcasts like this, more movie reviews like this, and that follow button. So until next time, remember to keep it classy and keep it spooky.